Hi there, it's Lori, and I'm going to tell you all a story about poor choices that I've made. You know, we've had poor choices, Lori, before. This one was actually, I think I retained this lesson. So, way back when I was a teenager and I was dating my ex husband, we were playing tennis. And my dad had taught me tennis. My dad was semi pro in tennis. Again, my dad's done everything. The only thing he said he would never do is parachute jump out of an airplane, which is what my husband does. So, go figure. Anyway, so my dad had taught me pretty well. And I'm probably 16, 17, or 18 at this point. And we were playing tennis, my ex and I got really frustrated. And I went to throw the tennis ball down, really angry, right? But I did not throw it correctly for it to do that. Instead, I beamed my ex in the back of the head with the tennis ball. I would not recommend doing such things. It's amazing he forgave me. Because if he had done the same to me, I don't know if I would have been so generous to yeah. But I learned. I learned don't throw things. Don't throw things when you're upset. No. I mean, just the other day, I tossed a ball of yarn and it bounced off the table and hit my cat. So I should just not ever toss anything, anywhere. Stuff falls on its own around here. Anyway. And speaking of, stuff is on the floor right here. I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up. All right. Okay. I've got lots of stuff that people have been commenting on. This adipose was made by Deb Morgana. This is a Wow Crochet Designs pattern. This I need to send to Belfast, Northern Ireland at some point. This is the snowman I made on the Centro. That's my Decade Divas paper doll. This is my adipose. Again, this is Deb Morgana's adipose. And I put my panic button and my eject button on my other panic button. This is here for Decade Divas. This square is from Yarn Over Hook. This right here. Oh no, where's my gel? Okay, there's something else that fell. Alright. My Fiber Floozy sticker. Aren't those cool? And then she signed it. Oh, and I had to do, okay, my moon nails. These two came off, and so I did accent there, but it's fine. Anyway, so this is from Yarn Over Hook. I said that one already. I just should have done this before I got on camera, right? All right, that's Fiber Floozy. This is Ladybird Loves Hadija. Okay, Hadija will go up there after I stop filming. This one's Frizzy Bee. This one says, I'm too busy working on my own grass to notice if yours is greener. And that is my general philosophy in life. That's how I got enough going on. Oh, and then my Coca-Cola sticker from Long Cool Woman Chuck. I am pointing it out again because she asked about it today. Which you're not seeing it today. But anyway. Okay. Now to the good stuff. Let's start with the one you're all aware that I'm working on. Look at this. Okay, that is one cake. That is one cake of the Snapdragon Colorama Halo from Deb Morgana. Same person who sent the big adipose right here. All right, so it's looking amazing. And I measured it. Worst case, it's 23 inches, which means I'm going to have at least 40 inches, right? And it's somewhere between 36 to 38, just kind of depending on how stretched out it is. But I'm gonna get it past 40 inches with just the two cakes. So I'm glad I didn't break into the beeswax because just the color striping is just fantastic. This Snapdragon and then this pattern, Camille's Creations, will be linked. This ripple blanket she designed. This is going to Boggy Creek. Camp Boggy Creek. Let me show you how much yarn is left. And of course it fell down, so I know you all think Yeah. I know I don't seem like somebody that has a temper, and generally I don't. So I tell you this story about who I used to be, I guess, and the lesson I learned. Don't throw things. And I should have retained that lesson, even though I wasn't upset. I didn't throw the yarn angrily. I shouldn't throw things ever, is what I should learn. Anyway, I did go ahead and stitch this across, but it only got to about here. And so, like, because I'm going to have to color control a little bit, I'm going to find, is it right here? Yeah. I'm going to have to find, okay, orange is pretty much in the center. So what I will probably do, where do I want to? I think I'll take this pink out of the center. That's what I'm doing right now. And then as soon as it switches to orange right there. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. I know, I never cut yarn. You're witnessing something rare. I cut my yarn. If I have to color control, that's what I do. But anyway, I'll attach it there. This is the cake that made this gorgeous blanket. Like I said, worst case scenario, this is going to come out 46 inches long and 36 to 38 inches wide. So definitely within the specifications for Camp Boggy Creek. Anyway, okay. So if I need this pink at the end, I will, but we'll see. Just kind of set it there. And I'm going to put it back in its project bag for now. Although it's going to get added here very soon. All right. So that's the one you are fully aware of. And the good news is I have enough yarn. Okay. Number 2. I mentioned it, the Bavarian stitch. I have got to figure something out to get, okay, let me tilt this down a little bit. Got to do something to get this to not poof out when I lay it down. It tends to go like that. This is supposed to look like Mile High Stadium. I will insert a picture. I haven't decided if I'm going to put the word Broncos across here or not, because that's why this mom, ooh, I have to get the, okay, I'm going to have to set Boggy Creek aside and get this done, because not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, this needs to be done, which I am flying through it. And I've had to figure out how to modify the pattern to get this look going. It only needs to be, I don't know, 4 or 5 more rounds. Well, pairs of rounds. I'm going to say 4, probably 4 more rounds. And then if anybody has suggestions, and your suggestion can't be, Lori, stop using different weights of yarns with each other. Because that's really the problem, right? Usually I have quite a pronounced little gap in there, but this yarn with a small hook, because I'm only using a 4.5 millimeter. No, this one, I just lied to you. Where is it? This one I'm using a 5.5 millimeter. It's in the project bag. This one's a 5.5 millimeter, but with this yarn, that was pretty small hook. But yeah, if you've got some suggestions, and like, don't say go back in time and fix it, and don't use that yarn. Even though that is probably the right answer, I need a different answer. All right, so if you've got some ideas, I kind of sewed it together in the back. It's better than it was. And right now it's laying all right, but you can see how it's going to look like the stadium and the orange and blue of the Denver Broncos, which is a, for those of you who are not clear on that, the Denver Broncos are an American football team that, oh my gosh, that plays in Denver, Colorado, obviously. I am sorry, my ears are very itchy. It's not the insides of my ears, it's like the cartilagey part. Ugh, the white's really starting to show, isn't it? It's all right. I'm trying to get the overtone out so that I can try this other product, but it really took this last time, so it's not fading very fast. What else was I going to tell you all? Oh, I've got one more project that I've worked on. These are just the blankets I'm working on right now. I finished the little ghost tree, which y'all saw if you watched my video yesterday, so Tuesday. Okay. This is the Texture is Everything crochet along. I have had to do massive modifications to the pattern. It's a great pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern because I wanted it to be significantly smaller, but I still wanted to do all the different types of stitches. So this one was particularly tricky. It took me 3 or 4 times to get the row count or the side count to work in a way that fit the pattern. But it's there. This is Big Twist Menagerie. Feels like clothing cotton yarn. I don't understand it. It's 100% acrylic. It's amazing. So those are all the blankets I have on my hook right now. I have a project I need to start. I can probably knock that out, but I'm gonna have to focus on that blanket there, not the one I just showed you. I've let this mom know that I'm working on it, but it's gonna be a while yet. I feel like it's coming along, but this one takes a little bit longer because, like I said, I'm having to really adjust stitch count. I've only done 2 sides in the next row, so I still have 2 sides of that to do. But now that I know the count, we're fine. Let's see if you can kind of see that. And just for fun, this may or may not stay the way it is. I'm working on a little dress for my granddaughter. She wanted a rainbow dress, so this would be the bottom. And I made sure this was plenty big. And it's kind of a stretchy stitch, but you'll see it. Yeah, see how that stretches. Anyway, she loves it, but she also wanted to try to help, and so what she did, I handed her some different yarn, obviously, and she over and over again. She likes the metal hooks. That's the one she always chooses. Anyway, so I got a project I need to work on for Live Fantastical. October's theme is witches. Thank you to Crafting Kitty. I happen to be one of the winners drawn, and so was Linda's Crochet channel, for Creator Spotlight in September, which was MJ's Off the Hook. I believe Crafting Kitty said, I apologize, that Turtle Tank, I believe that was the name of the channel. Turtle Tank is the next Creator Spotlight. So, anyway, so I've gotten a lot done. The fact that I got all the way through a cake on the Boggy Creek, I've made significant progress on the rectangular Bavarian stitch, but I'm gonna have to leave these two and just focus on. Okay, I managed to get that completely wound around everything. Extreme close up. I know you guys love. Sorry. All right, this is going back in its project bag. Because, yeah, I just figured it out. I gotta have that done by not this Saturday. I'm filming this Tuesday night. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. I gotta have it done. So I gotta work on that. But those are my 3 current whips that I'm actively working on. I started a cardigan for my daughter. I did, I don't know, 2 or 3 rows, enough that she could tell. And I said, hey, do you like this? Because she had picked out a yarn, a big, a fat yarn. She takes after her mother. And I did it up a little, and she's like, no, I'm worried that that'll catch on things. And so I'm like, okay, kid, I'll do the other stitch. But it has puffs, so I think because it's a fat 5 or a skinny 6 is how I would classify the yarn she chose for a cardigan. The pattern I'm going to need to use it has puff stitches, so I think I'm just not going to yarn over all that many times, just to make it a little bit less like, you know what I mean. Anyway, so no holy clothes for my daughter. Which makes sense. She has toddlers. I don't blame her. Anyway, so the menagerie, I'm using the 4.5. The Bavarian stitch, this one's a 5.5. And this one, I'm using an 8mm. So, using all different sizes. This one's not a furls. I don't have an 8mm furls hook. So that's why I have the foam on it, which works great. I like the foam a lot. And the next cake will be center pull, so I won't need this. That's for doing your outer pull, and then it just spins it around while you're pulling. I am so sorry for that horrible sound. I apologize again. All right. So I got to get my act together and get this done. Focus. I will be focused. Right now I'm like doing 16 different things, but got to get that done. I do believe I can get that one done on time for a change, which would be really nice, right? Yeah. Oh, I had the scarf done on time too. Maybe I'm finally getting things done on time. All right. Y'all are great. And thanks for coming in. And can I get an amen?